Hello and a very warm welcome to the Studio Bloc Masters here in Darmstadt, Germany. The World Cup for everybody is back after a very long, what it feels like, 3-year break. I have to say, so far it has been ridiculously good and well worth the wait. I'm Mike Langley and I'll be commentating you through these next two rounds, the semi-final and the final. But I will be joined by 7 times British champion Gaz Parry, and he is over there in the studio. He today is joined by Olga Nimic, the IFSC route setter, and Canadian legend Sean McCall. Let's have a little chat with these guys over here, and the round will get started in just a few minutes.
Thanks very much, Mike. Hi guys, how you doing? Sean, Olga.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, you've been setting this weekend. How's that gone? You got any predictions? We're going to have some really exciting semi-final, finals.
Yep, I hope so. It will be exciting enough, both for the athletes and the audience. I think the work was quite smooth and not super hard because we were quite a big team with the good route setters. So we made a few tweaks yesterday after the qualification rounds and where we saw the results.
Did you go harder or easier?
Yeah, hard.
Harder? Oh, yeah, well, we've had a look at the boulders and, yeah, they certainly look hard.
Yeah, not every boulder we tweaked, but few of them will be harder than we predicted before.
Cool. And you were working last weekend in Dockmasters, and the next weekend you're going to be in Quiff in Sheffield. It's a pretty full-on schedule, that.
Yeah, that's right, but I'm super excited about it because those are the biggest informal competition, so I'm quite happy that I could be a part of 3 of them.
Yeah, it's quite a cool run into the season. And passing over to you, Sean, how are you doing? I mean, you've been out of the scene a little bit in the last few months, and you've injured your shoulder, and you had a climb yesterday. It was really good to see you back. And how's it going?
Yeah, so like you said, big injury last May. I had surgery in September. They did a full repair of my shoulder, so now I'm 5-6 months almost post repair, and it's weird. It's a struggle because like I think back to 5 months ago, I could barely raise my arm past here, and then I think of yesterday. I tried about half of the harder end boulders, and some of the boulders I looked at, I was like, "There's no way I can even try this boulder." So in the end, I kind of knew I wasn't gonna submit my sheet. I wouldn't have made semifinals. Let's be honest here. But the journey has been quite up and down. Like I think I'm doing well, and then I'm really happy, and then someone else does, and they just come and do all the boulders, and I'm like, oh, I'm not actually that strong yet. Then even here, like I think I'm doing well, and I actually am doing very well, but mentally I see where I want to be. I see the competitors that are all my friends, and I want it so bad, but I know that the journey is a bit slower than I want it, and so I just have to keep reminding myself, trying to not to get injured, and just kind of just going along with it.
Yeah, it's really hard overcoming an injury like that, I think, and then still being within the community and coming over here and seeing the comps and friends and stuff, and they're all
just getting older, right?
Smashing out boulders. Yeah, talk about it. I know what you mean. So obviously we've got the Olympics coming up. Second Olympics this year is a little bit of a different format, with lead and boulder and speed separate. Could you take us through just a light overview of the qualification format we've got ahead of us, because it's quite a long period of opportunities to qualify for the Olympics, isn't it?
Yeah, so I mean, my mind goes crazy because I have so much stuff running through it. I'll try to simplify it as much as I can. It'll help if you're familiar with the 2019 qualification format. Then there was basically 3 different ones. There was the World Championships, there was the Toulouse qualifier, and then the Continental Championships. Now we're in 2023, and again it's 2023 and 2024 to qualify for Paris. There is again 3 routes to the Olympics. The first is going to be the World Championships in Bern, 2023. The top 3 from each gender will get a spot at the Olympics in the combined format. The next qualification period is a few months later, and it is the Continental Championships. So if you win the European combined, Pan Am combined, all those different ones, that is 1 spot per continent for the Olympics. That's roughly 8. Leaves 12. 1 is actually a host country spot, and 1 is a tripart spot. So you don't really try to qualify for those. They're more like extra that technically get reallocated if no one applies for it, but another whole story. So that leaves 10 spots, and the 10 spots are reserved for a competition series called the OQS, or the Olympic Qualification Series. That is a series of 3 events in April, May, and June.
So that's like another competition series in itself,
and it's 3 comps.
That didn't exist before.
No, didn't exist before. 3 comps, April, May, and June of 2024. And to qualify for just that series, you need to be basically in the top 50 of the combined world ranking. There'll be 48 that get invited to that series. Then the slate is washed clean, and it's whoever does the best across those 3 events. The top 10 from each gender gets their Olympic ticket.
Wow. So we're just hearing some beeps going off in the arena. One last question. How do you think it affects the climbing competition scene with the qualifications for the Olympics? It's quite a big impact, yeah? Yeah,
I guess that was kind of what I forgot a bit, but to qualify for that OQS series, you're allowed to take 3 bouldering World Cups and 3 lead World Cups. The World Championships can also count to replace one of those World Cups per bouldering and per lead, but basically you're looking at 6 competitions, and that gives you points towards the OQS. So many people that are going for the Olympics, they're going to be trying to do 3 boulder events, 3 lead events. If one of them is your specialty, maybe you do more of that to try to get more points. Maybe you do more of the other one to try to get more points and ones you're weaker in. But we'll definitely be seeing a lot of competitors do bouldering, do lead, trying to make that OQS and trying to punch their Olympic ticket.
Yeah, it's a big ask. It's a big ask. Well, thanks very much for taking us through that. I hope that's a little bit more clear to people out there. And thanks very much for joining us on the sofa, Olga and Sean.
No problem.
Let's watch some competition climbing, yeah?
for this interval for Isiara and Nikolai. Für alle, die jetzt ganz links an der Wand sitzen, macht euch keine Sorgen, wir rutschen im Laufe der Quali immer weiter. Immer weiter nach links. Also Isiara und Nikolai werden uns mehr und mehr die Bilder auch auf der linken Seite zeigen. Spannende Variante hier von Isiara. Ja, mit einer ähnlichen Variante wie unten. Das Boulderproblem oben am Top lösen will. Hi. Immer wieder der Einstieg, der hier klar ist. Beweglichkeit ist gefragt. Hier mit dem rechten Fuß was zu machen. Stabilität hier auf der Platte zu haben. Also für euch, die ihr hier im Publikum sitzt und das Frontal seht, bei Nikolai ist die Wandneigung leicht liegend. Hier ist Koordination gefragt. Gutes Stehen. Ein. Super stark. Die Variante unserer spanischen Kletterin. Überlegt jetzt hier alle Tricks und Kniffe auszupacken. Unsere Start Nummer 1. Teste das an, das ist durchaus erlaubt. Aber am Ende werden die Rückenschrauber sich diese Geschichte Nikolai hat den Move jetzt hinbekommen. Sehr schön. Hier seht die zweite Zwischenwertung. Die rote, rosane Bonusbrief, der hier extra Punkte bringt. Und bei der schauen wir nochmal auf die Uhr, die letzten Sekunden. Last seconds, come on! Gleich die letzte Möglichkeit bis hier. Was war denn jetzt los? Hat sich kurz mal hingesetzt, kurz mal durchgeschraubt, kurz getaped und danach funktioniert es. Hervorragend. Wir machen das nächste Intervall auf. Gleicher Boulder für unsere nächsten beiden Starter. Wir begrüßen aus Kanada Untitled Chapter. Und aus Italien Philipp Schenk. Und auch für die beiden läuft ihr erstes Intervall. 5 Minuten, auf geht's. Für uns hier im Publikum immer ein bisschen einfacher, die zweiten zu sehen. Wir wissen jetzt schon so ein bisschen, was gleich passieren wird. Für die beiden, die hier im Halbfinale starten, ist es absolutes Neuland. Die haben keine Ahnung, was die beste Lösung ist. Es gibt nirgendwo auf der Halle einen Boulder, der so aussieht wie der jetzt hier gerade an die Wand geschraubt ist. Zunächst unsere beiden Neuen am Boulder Nummer.
Yeah, Sergey looked like a total machine at the last event when he won that title. So I'm sure he'd be psyched to defend it to his best of his ability.
Noah Shiran from Israel as well, 21 years old. Good result.
Indiana Auch nochmal die Unterschiede zu sehen, wie die einzelnen Athletinnen sich hier am Boulder 1 präsentieren. Nochmal zur Erinnerung, wir starten in umgekehrter Reihenfolge der Ergebnisse aus der Qualifikation. Das heißt, ganz zum Schluss sehen wir die Besten von gestern. So at the end we have the best competitors from yesterday here in the semifinals. Now have a look to India on boulder number 2. Philip, Ali. Auch hier wird nochmal gebeten, die Tritte und Griffe entsprechend zu säubern. Ja, ihr kennt das von gestern. Im Laufe des Tages werden die dann immer ein bisschen rutschiger. Aber 20 Halbfinalistinnen und Halbfinalisten halten diese Griffe und Volumen aus. Nächster Versuch. Feels ready. Immer wieder ein Blick auf die Uhr. 2 Minuten, 2 minutes. Und tatsächlich ist es ja so, dass unsere starken, international startenden Athleten sich ganz genau überlegen, wie oft sie hier in diesen Boulder einsteigen, wie lange sie warten. Und wir sind mit unserer Aufmerksamkeit bei Boulder Nummer 2. Ali Philipp. Ja. Ihr seht, wie entscheidend auch so dieser Wille da sein muss. Ja. Ciao. Aber Sergi wird kommt dem Ziel näher. 1 Minute 10 Sekunden. 1 minute 10 seconds. Am Ende sind es 4 Boulder, die hier im Halbfinale geklettert werden müssen. Und am Ende ist es auch eine Belastung. Immer 5 Minuten Action, 5 Minuten Pause. Und das im Intervall bis zum 4. Boulder. Schau mal, wer die wenigsten Versuche braucht, um hier zum Top zu gelangen. Ali. Beide wieder am Boulder 2 fast gleichzeitig unterwegs.
Rumour is, Studio Blockmasters, we are back in the game.
A little bit delayed there, but we didn't miss too much. Still got climbers on these first couple of boulders.
Long way to go in the semi-final round, as always. 5 minutes on, 5 minutes off, 20 climbers to get down to just 6 as that rotation does end. Hello, if you're watching at home around the world. So nice to join us. So nice to have a World Cup style event back here in Darmstadt.
So we've had a few early tops on those first couple of boulders, Mike, and the last couple of climbers, no tops. So it's changes quite quickly, this ranking.
Yeah, so far it looks like boulders number 1 for men and women are definitely doable. What's tricky with these early tops is sort of sometimes the route setters might be getting a little bit nervous. It's definitely going to be a lot of tops, but like I said a few times now, it's a long morning. There's a lot to get through. A lot of opportunities for the climbers to fall off, but yeah, definitely at this stage, boulder number 1 looking all right. Madison Richardson is joining us from Canada in the women's campaign. They're really enjoying that first move, not having any issues with that at all. Udo Fidel, another Israeli starting as we find another quick top for women's number 1. Looks like you're pretty much going to have to flash that one as we go through.
Ido just needs to focus here, get the balance and the match. That's a good start for Ido, straight out of the box. Flash boulder number 1.
Gaz, like I said, 7 times British champion, done a lot of World Cups in your day. How did you find it coming out to a slab straight away?
Well, it's always one of those questions, I think, in the setting arena when you set these comps is to how are we going to send the climbers through the series, and that comes down to how you think they've done in the qualifying sometimes, and you can mix it up, start them with a powerful thing, but usually starting the climbers on a slab just really challenges them a little.
During observation of this boulder, we thought the lower section looked okay, but up there it's really, really hard.
This is one of the longest boulders we've seen up to now on this semi-final. Quite a lot of moves as you're nearing the top.
Speaking of hard moves, that's definitely one of them. Really horizontal crimp as well. When you're moving sideways like that, sometimes you like a little bit of a rotation on the hold to help with the hand position, but pulling straight down but going across the hold is one of the really, really tricky moves.
It's a pretty bad hold, that as well, isn't it, Mike? It's quite slopey for a crimp, and it's a long way to get that foot out into that toe hook.
Both these climbers absolutely demolished the first 2 boulders. Ben Preston from Great Britain on the right is going well here. Like I say, completely unseeded, hasn't competed internationally. And Julia Kruder certainly has. Onto this top section. For her, all of a sudden, from that angle anyway, the top hole doesn't look too far away. Did look far when we were observing from below. It is seemingly would be a jump. Desperate watching that left foot just skate away from you as you have to. Lift the heel to jump. Oh, different body position here this time. Nicolet's been all over that boulder. Every which way. Let's see if he can make this one work.
Powerful release now, and that foot comes out. There you go. Couldn't quite hold the swing. Wanted to land the right foot onto that stack of volumes below him. Izzy R. Good high point again. Into that last volume. Left hand, and then you've got to come into the undercut with the thumb and out to that pocket to get the top on women's 3.
What's interesting about Ben Preston from Great Britain is pretty much one of the only athletes from our neck of the woods to actually compete here in Studio Bloc. There is a lead selection event, I believe, for the British team going on at the same time. A couple of other guys made it, but mostly he's flying solo. A lot of the guys obviously use this competition as a pre-World Cup season starting event. This is better from Ben, powering down through that left foot. Got to commit on that top move. He is going to go fast as well, just 15 seconds. Oh, he's just quivering, can't reach it. That could be a big mistake from Ben with 10 seconds.
That looked like a stinger, that one.
Yeah, the massive fire off that left-hand undercut. I think he's going to be kicking himself a bit there, as is Judith Kruder. Not going to happen. Still going. Walk away. Daria Nestorenko joining us then from Ukraine, originally from Kharkiv. Climbs a lot, Studio Bloc Mannheim now, over here in Germany. Great to see her out. So Sergey from Ukraine just behind her, hopefully cheering on as well. Lots of Ukrainian climbers here today. It's obviously superb to see. in the men's competition. Tees Crayanest.
Swiftly through that initial stand-up for TS.
Interestingly, 2 qualifying groups yesterday, one in the morning and one in the afternoon. Generally speaking, it's pretty much all the climbers in the morning who make their way through to the semi-final, but Tees was one of the guys in the second group, and nicely done. He's happy with that.
Yeah, very solid through that boulder.
Another little method we've just seen there from Daria. That was nice. Sort of cross through tap, left hand through, right hand up. Oh, look at the power, the lock-off power on the right hand to cross under. This is nice. A lot of 3D climbing required now. Brutal boulder.
That's the first time we've seen somebody through onto that zone. Philip Schenk. Good effort up until now. But as you can see, it's a long way to go up and back across to finish with his feet pretty much where he started.
Oh, this is really nice from Philip. Not much on the top lapis volume there. Just the friction itself. They are brand new, so there's plenty of texture up there. Oh, this is brutal. Slotted finish on foot, left foot just blows, but the shoulder power to hold that. Oh, that was just so close, and the crowd knew it. I think he's going to feel that one tomorrow. Yeah. Loading on the left shoulder there.
Hopefully that shoulder's intact.
Oh, that campus move on the women's climb is equally as hard. That's such a mega move. Oh, look, Matt Groom from Epic TV. Photo bombing down at the front there. Amazing to see all the friends from around the world at this event gathering here, getting amongst all the boulders. Usually a lot of the media crew as well do have a climb yesterday. Luckily there's some chairs in this studio, Gaz. That's all I'm saying after our attempts yesterday. Absolutely trashed today.
Yeah, it was a good day actually. The boulders were fantastic, even though we couldn't climb many of them. But yeah, it was a good day out. Yeah. A lot of sideways climbing in this semi-final at the moment. Quite interesting setting. Really maximising the wall. Getting the most out of it. Adding a few movements in, some quite long boulders. I wonder if we'll see a different mix when we get into the final. This is good from Ido.
Sergei Topishko just struggling a little bit there. Like we said, defending champion. Obviously, it's been a tough year for him and his teammates. Just 15 seconds. Looks like it's not going to happen for him or Noah Shuran. Competition has definitely ramped up. It's Studio Blockmaster, one of the big chiefs there, just in the camera shop, Robert Lux, one of the owners of this wall. What a weekend they're having. Not easy getting these competitions back off the ground after a 3-year break.
Certainly has been a long time coming, but the athletes are very excited to be back here in this, essentially the starter of the season. We had Dock Masters last weekend, a fantastic comp that was. Studio Block Masters this weekend, and then 3 comps in a row. We've got the Quiff, the classic season starter. next weekend in Sheffield.
That's right, and starting their campaign on the right-hand side from Germany, Roxana Weinand. Let's see what Slav Kirov from Bulgaria can make of this as well. Good to see a German athlete making it through to the semis. Has done quite a few boulder and lead World Cups in 2022. Roxana.
Straight into that jump, nailed it pretty strongly there. Let's see what she can do for this top move. She's going to go double.
Looks like confidence is key on that move. It's like a little compression move, almost a bit of a coordination maneuver. Not
big
for Roxana, though. Boom.
Good flash. I think that was a flash, Mike.
First look at men and women's boulder number 4. That's Ben Preston on men's 3. Here's Martinez on women's number 4 down the far left-hand end. Ben Preston is very impressive on the crimps. Obviously, 8 climbers on the wall now. We can't watch all of them at the same time, sadly, so we will try and keep you up to date as we go through. Oh, that's tidy from Ben. Clamping with the feet, locking off on the crimps. This guy can out-crimp pretty much anybody. Can he follow up Filip Schenk from Italy's impressive top on this move? Really confusing this next section. Such a big move.
It's a huge move up into that next volume right at the top of the wall, but Ben gets his hand on the side and into the crimp, into the slot. Good progress from Ben now. He's only one move away from this top on this boulder.
Oh, that's a top as well. Here's Martinez getting it done today.
Just need to work how to reach out into that.
Yeah, Ben's gone really high here. He's going to have to transition back down to hold this Gaston shoulder. Technically very good climber, so he should be okay on the feet, you would have thought. The way that the tape shows that top hold marked is the one underneath. He looks like he's going for the walk. Oh, no! Oh, dear. Off the top floor. The walk of shame across the top there. That's dropped the last move on both holds. Let's have another look. This is the top. So we're going to try and bring you all the action as it comes across. Slav Kirov. Just 17 years old. Climbed 8C routes out in Bulgaria. One of your neck of the woods, Gaz.
Yeah, I've climbed with him. Yeah, we had some good time in Big Cave in Vrata. Him and Nikolai trained together, climbed together under the watchful eye of Vazata, their coach and the team coach in Bulgaria.
This is the heartbreaker from Ben Preston. He might have enough time to get back to this, but he looks so comfortable up there. Not really what the route set is intended, I don't think. That's a blocker to finish there, and he's undercutting the blocker sky high up on the wall.
Over on the left side there, men's 4. First look of somebody high on this boulder. Nikolai just failing to get into that slot underneath that top volume, and he's out of time now. That'll be the end of his semi-final. Now look at this man bringing up the back of that field, coming out there, Gabriele Moroni. absolute legend of the game. He's been in competitions for a very, very long time.
Yeah, 35 years old, competed internationally since
Emotional moment for him. And now he's competing again this weekend, but he's also worked
incredibly strong. Many Slovenians going through to the semi-final rounds, as we pretty much always expect. But this is a nervy little finish move, which really enjoying the way that this competition is ramping up as they go through boulders 2, 3 and 4. There's the first proper look at that. Men's number 4. Speaking of shoulder power, women's number 3. Absolutely immense.
Quite work out to get onto that last volume properly in order to attack the last move. Meanwhile, back to boulder 1, Gabrielle. Trying to stand up into these volumes. Quite dire footholds.
So catch up with Indiana Chapman. How she got on this really technical jump, actually. It's quite positive holds, but sort of a weird down catch with the left hand, and then it gets even weirder after that.
It looks a really awkward position to jump out of with that press and your back twisted and try and get them. Gabrielle back on. 2:20 on the clock. He's got plenty of time to work his way to the top of this boulder. This looks a bit better from Gabriele. Find that balance. One way.
So as the competition progresses here, unfortunately we are aware of some tech issues. They are working their asses off over here to try and get that fixed. Apologies for that, doing absolutely everything they can. Network meltdown. Everybody's trying so hard to get that fixed for you guys. I'm sure if it doesn't quite come together, we'll sort of replay out afterwards. For now, we'll just try our best, hope for, fingers crossed for everything for the internet. Get some satellites flying over here. Can you sort that out, Gaz?
I'll do my best. Yeah, I've got a few satellites knocking around.
Tough day out there so far for these guys coming out early in the semis.
As ever, really, with semi-finals, some people come out and smash boulders really quickly, and they've only just squeezed into the top 20, and then you get this middle ground of people that should be, in theory, doing well, but are taking a few falls and a few more attempts. So it runs it around, turns it topsy-turvy. If you're in that top 20, it's all to play for. Trying the best to get into that final group for this afternoon's final here at Studio Blockmasters.
Another Slovenian joining the men's competition. He'll be starting down on the far right-hand side there, Matic Kotar. And in the women's, it's Maya Hockerman-Drimmer. Looking forward to see what she's got for us on the mats. From Israel.
Roxana from Germany.
Yeah, it's a really
Just
much
starting
better
her
angle
journey
this one.
across this boulder. It's a long way out there to that far triangle. And then a really hard move up to the top.
So much of that throughout this weekend here at Studio Bloc Masters. They're using the low profile volumes for heel hook and toe hooks, lots of compression. Nice straightforward top there for Slav. Matic, excuse me, apologies. From Slovenia. Roxana Vainen looking pretty controlled so far. Look at that chalk bag as well. That is a classic.
This is the move we've not seen done yet.
Getting a lot of support, obviously, from the local crowd.
We've had a couple of tickles to that top hold, but nobody's held it yet.
Is it a stand-up or is it a jump? It looks
like
far.
a long way.
It does look far.
Yeah. Slav back on men's 2. This is looking good now. He's eyeing up that top hold. One more move. And it's a hard one. That top hold's just going to rely on friction only. There's no jib screwed onto it. This looks a great boulder, Mike. Really quite complex.
Hello, Fidel.
Got to do a lot of work to move the body over. Really powerful release. Then you saw that left hand ripping.
Oh, I heard that from here, and we're 500 plus meters away from the comp wall.
That'll smart. Rosanna now back across into this triple set of triangles on the right hand side of this boulder. She's been here once before. She's got a jib with the left hand, but that right hand triangle has absolutely nothing on it, only the footholds.
Yulia Kruder blasting through this round, potentially qualified a little bit lower than she expected, and we see a top from Roxana Vainen as well.
That's great. That's the first top of that boulder.
Top's coming thick and
She'll
fast all
be very
of a
happy
sudden.
with that.
Semi-final format is just wild. There's climbers all over the place doing different things.
That's a great top as well from Yulia, yeah? That's a very good round from her. She'll be really happy with that.
Just figuring out what to do in the last minute. So not even halfway through the start list at the moment. Ben Preston in the background just flying through the little double jump. Bit of a heartbreaker round for him so far after a nice start. Dropped the top moves on boulders number 2 and 3. I have to say, if there was a weakness in this game, he's been working on it a lot, is a more dynamic style. Possibly his least favoured of the boulders.
Slav back up there again. Still can't make that last move work. Looks like it's a hard one, that M2 for sure. Slav's not the tallest of climbers either, so maybe somebody with a little bit more span is going to find that last move a little bit easier.
Luchka Rakovic, one of the legends in the Slovenian team, starts her campaign.
For the men, Victor Bodrand from Canada, out on that first slab. Good view of this number 4 from here for the first time, I think. Double, catch into the slope.
Maroney in the background Tarkus on screen at the moment. Gabby Maroney, so technical. Tarkus, Lucia Tarkus done so well on the lead scene in the Youth World Championships just recently out in Dallas. 7th out there. Good to see her on the boulders here. Obviously, as we go through to Olympic qualifying events, boulder and lead is combined. So obviously more and more we're seeing athletes really dialing in both disciplines at the same time.
Yeah, it's shocking nowadays how easy people can switch between these two disciplines. The talent out there is coming thick and fast.
Well, when boulders are this long as well, you can see how that would be an advantage to have that endurance.
Yeah, this set of 4 boulders for men and 4 for women on this wall definitely are quite long boulders. People are getting high on them and falling off very close to the top, which again also takes a lot of effort to pull back on again.
Nice
really
top
does
from-
sap their strength.
Yeah, nice top from Lucia Rakovic. Let's have a look at this move on the left-hand side of the screen then. Women's number 4. It's like a flick out. It's really awkward. Ooh, that was a good effort though. Noah Shiran. Sergej Pishko. Oh, it's just flicking between action all over the place here. Hard to keep up. I might just shut up and enjoy this, to be honest.
Here we are back with Sergej.
That zone hold down and right is
quite
just
good.
awful.
Yeah, it's tiny, but it does look like you do need it to pull yourself over a little bit, but he seems to be going for a very different option here. Full on. Try and get the front mantle on.
Just bouncing around, trying to figure out how to do that next mantle. Heartbreaker actually on men's number 2 on that last move.
One minute 30 on the clock. Athletes just taking a little moment to recompose themselves. Great move that into that shoulder.
Yeah, that's a second method at least we've seen there. Oh, look at the crossover method. I like that. Really tricky. We're seeing some guys go to that with their right hand and then chop down, as we saw with Ben Preston, and sort of using the footwork. Sergej Pishko rolling to that slot and then going down with the right hand.
That was a good effort by Tiez.
Yeah, sorry. Wrong guy. Right move. Same haircut. That's thrown me off. That's a really cool move for women's number 4.
Both women's 4, men's 4 look quite hard boulders to finish on.
There's
Sergej's back
Gabby
on the
finds
boulder.
the top.
That zone hold he reached out to there is absolutely abysmal, and this is why he's trying to work out this other method, see if it's possible, but can't quite get on top of that. Fiberglass.
Oh, going all out for a top in the last few seconds. Time has run out, sadly. Great round, though. Great effort. Noah Shiran. Pretty happy with that start of the season. Sergej Pishko, I think he would have been looking for more out there. Struggled a little bit here today. Lucia Rakovic, no drama at all. Women's number 1, looking super composed as always.
So we have seen half the athletes, and we're into the second half now with Luka Potkar for the men.
Yeah, it should be Lily Kistjen from Germany as well, second German athlete coming through. So we are into our top 10 athletes now. So this picture will start to develop and we see what's required to make that top 6. There's Lily. Starting to see that quite often now. Quick top, but that does pile under pressure for those guys coming out. Isolation zone just to the right of this wall. Become fairly obvious to the athletes that bold number 1 is definitely a topper. One to get done, but that does put the pressure on. This is nice, just left here. Ido, Fidel.
That is the first top
sorted.
by Ido on that boulder.
Nice, looked comfortable up there as well.
Very happy with that. Obviously, the route setters want people to get to the top of these boulders. They really don't want a boulder that remains unclimbed, let alone 4.
Yeah, the route setters are looking for separation in terms of scoring from the athletes. That's their number 1 aim. Generally speaking, scores come first, the show comes second, but many times they go hand in hand, luckily. Nice little top there.
Matic.
Luca Potachar.
Luca. Yeah, Luca. Good solid top.
Oh, Madison's getting on that left-hand little screw on jib. Absolutely dire, but that's nice. Now the tops are coming. Looks like this one's going to go down to attempts here today. Attempts to the number of tops. Throw my hat in the ring early, Gaz, for a prediction, which is never a good idea. 4 tops.
I think it's
on the cards
starting
here.
to look that way. We're halfway through the field and tops are coming now.
See, conditions might actually change a little bit here. It tends to get quite hot here on the Studio Bloc comp wall. See, the holds get a bit more greasy as we go through. But in theory, the talent ramps up as well.
That looked like a really interesting way of holding that right hand on the bottom of the volume. Some weird wrap, guppy style, but it worked.
Yeah, Roxana going well here. 3 tops already for her.
Yeah, solid top there for Roxana just to finish off that boulder.
Let's see what Maya Drimmer just as about to say. Let's see how she gets on this top jump. Looks really awkward, that top jump.
So there we have the leaderboard over on the left-hand side. Madison with 4 tops. Julia Kruder with 3. Roxana also with 3.
Yeah, and obviously with the 4 bars already filled, that means that Madison and Julia Kruder already finished their round.
And the men, we've got 4 athletes already with 2 tops. Gabri still in a good place. He's halfway through his tour with 2 tops already.
See the guys on that tiny little left foot. We can't even see the foothold from that position. You can see the left foot, the amount of power going through the toe and the shuddering of the left foot.
I think that's just where they've left a bit of Tipex.
It's just a marker pen's worth of hold.
Yeah, stand here. It's the best place to stand.
To be honest, it's equally as bad as the final foothold that the women have to use here to jump to that top hold.
Yeah, so like I said before, getting out to that volume now with that right hand, there is nothing on that volume to hold. You've got to really struggling to stand on that foothold that's just jibbed underneath the volume.
Let's have a look at that left foot then. Got the force going through the big toe on the left foot. Commitment required, and we've seen a lot of guys dropping that top move.
Slav sadly running out
What
of
a battle
time
he's
there.
had.
Fighting hard. Good to see. All the Studio Bloc helpers in there, brushing the holds, getting them prepped for this next rotation.
Misha Pikula as 11th, Brianson 2021 on the lead.
Yeah, both went to the Olympics, so he's definitely no slouch.
Yeah, he ended up 15th out there, nonetheless. A bit of a legend in the game. Hangs out a lot in Austria with the Austrian team.
So we got a good view now of this last boulder and the initial move into these two big black holes. We've not seen this bit before.
Yeah, that's interesting. Different methods slightly there with the lean out. That
Well
works
held.
though. Sort of a little bit of a flick over now, a hip flick out to the right. Trying to get some traction off the wall. Textured walls here, but still pretty slippery.
Very committed move this. See those feet paddling a little bit.
Sort of a little flick up we saw earlier on. I think it was Indiana Chapman using that far left-hand volume to try to pounce off. We've seen some of the athletes trying this as well. Oh, the amount of force going through the arms at that left-hand lock-off. She's been up there a while now. Darian Starenko.
Yeah, she's going to be tired after that attempt. She's got 3 minutes on the clock, though. She'll get something back. Give it another blast.
So Schlemensek gets on this move. 1 minute used already. Hard to keep track exactly, but unlikely this is still a first attempt.
Michael just working his feet into the right position now to get that left foot onto that volume. That's better.
Just sort of hooked it round in the end. Looks like he's going to drill the screw hole for the match. Yeah, his left foot never really landed on that hold. Wanamish Bakula as his teammates, good friends as well. Maroney, this is more his party
nice
piece.
method, that was great.
This is that big
Crossing
release.
over into that crimp. Release, catch the toe hook. Couldn't quite land the foot out onto the right.
A familiar position here on women's two. Standing in this top move, no top so far. Believe.
This is possibly one for Luchka. Oh, that was all over that top hold with that left hand.
Yeah, full extension. You know, it's full extension with the head's looking back down, arm full stretch. Slam dunk. Let's see what Daria how she gets on with this move this time.
Oh, this is a bit better, that left foot onto that volume. It's quite a violent movement, this, to get out to that zone. Needs to really commit to it and commit pretty quickly.
The leg stack. Oh, trying to desperately find something here.
Yeah, I think next time she gets there, she's going to have to commit to the move quick rather than hanging down and wasting the energy. That's the 1 minute left now. Luchka pulls back on for this journey out rightwards to the Heartbreak Hotel move. You can see that really bad screw on that third triangular volume and the little jib underneath it. And the fact now as she gets it, there is no hold on that right hand side.
Yeah, this has actually been topped. Just we don't have live scores in front of us on this table, but referring back to the scores we saw earlier, Roxana Weinand potentially a top on this one as well. Let's see if Luchka can find it.
Looking a bit more stable now.
Indiana Chapman as well, potentially been up there. Like to see the full leaderboard so we can catch up with the scores. It's going to be it for Ukrainian Nesterenko. Good effort, her across the four boulders. Talked a little bit about the Olympics here as well, and we're joined by another Olympian in the women's competition. Alana Yip from Canada is going to start down on the far right-hand side. The men's competition, Tim Voigtner.
solid through that first boulder for Alanya Yip. No problem whatsoever. Good flash, good start to her semi-final.
It's interesting, that first boulder. The athletes who come out with the maximum confidence, they just go straight to that top hold, completely ignoring the penultimate sort of Gaston sloping volume. Interesting to see what the route setter's intention was there.
Back on this move. She's managed to get the toe hook out. That's the one way of doing it. Left toe, one hand on the top. Right hand on the top. That's a brilliant round from Roxanne, that.
Yeah, Roxana Vinen's
She
been
will be
smashing today.
very, very happy with that. We'll wait for the scores to update, but that looks like she's got 4 tops. She's got a big smile on her face. Needs to go away now, compose herself.
Yeah, Roxanne's done
and
quite
relax.
She's done quite a few Boulder World Cups and Lead World Cups in 2022, so hopefully we'll see her a bit more on the season this year. Looks like she's got the credentials to be out there.
Yeah, looks like she's hit the start of the season running. Slav just struggling with that jump into the slot and then double onto the sloper.
It's definitely starting to cause a few problems, men's number 2. I think initially it looked like the men's tour might get harder as you go further left down the comp wall, but seemingly it is number 2 that's going to cause quite a few issues. Nidikizjan then into this familiar outside left foot into the stand. Oh, nice.
Yeah,
confidence.
she'll be happy with that. That's a really good second boulder for her.
Maya Drimmer just putting in a mega battle here this weekend so far. Sloping pocket to finish. That will do nicely.
Good performance by Maya on that. Slav getting close again to that dyno. Not quite managing to stick it.
Enjoying the variety of styles on these boulders so far. Bit of everything, bit of slab, definitely some tech on number 2 in the men's tour. Power and then dynos to finish. Confidence and technique required.
Well, Luca is no slouch in climbing on rock and on boulders, but he's definitely having a hard time on this boulder number 2. For the men, as everybody else up to now. There's the current rankings. Madison Richardson with 4 tops, 4 zones. Roxanne Weinand for Germany, also with 4 tops, 4 zones.
Yeah, look at that score from Madison. Basically unbeatable. Only on countback, Madison Richardson smashing the tour, 4 flashes.
It's the end of another rotation and the start of a new one.
There you can see Nicky Peter route setting is going to join us down on the mats, give us some feedback as to what he's seeing down on the right down at the front. Hey Nicky.
Hi, hello friends. Right down here, the atmosphere is amazing. It's getting more and more noisy, and right now we have one of our crowd favorites, one of my personal favorites, joining us on the mats, Yannick Kruder here. And after you had some technical issues, it seems like a few climbers got some technical problems as well. With boulder number 1, the slab, and then boulder number 2 in the male category, more techy than it looks like. And our first starter surprised me quite with 2 tops on the first 2 boulders, but then was out of power on boulder number 3 and 4. So let's see what Jörny can pull off here on slab number 1. Already going back down again, lifting his left foot, and it's really important to apply a lot of pressure and to be really calm. He tries to go back into the starting position, and that's how the setters intended it. It's a really smooth move, matching the feet, and then a zone is quite a good hold, but now transferring the weight to the left will be super important, and it's also super important to have a few tries as possible in all of those boulders. We've seen tops so far almost on every boulder. I think the only one not been topped is boulder number 4 in the male category, but Jörny didn't have any problems at all. So I don't know. This is probably illegal, but yeah, easy or difficult?
Well, luckily it felt easy, but you saw my legs shaking.
Oh, your legs are shaking because you're talking to me, or is it because of the slap?
I can't tell you that.
Okay, that was great from Jörny down here. I cannot see that much further over to the left, so maybe we walk over there because our first starters already finished boulder number 1s, and we got 2 minutes 50 left to watch Michael here in boulder number 2. Everyone is standing on the mats, not much going on, except for boulder number 4, the dynamic movements. And the further we go to the left on the wall, the more powerful and the more spectacular the boulders become. I think our setting team did quite a good job. I'd like to hear some feedbacks of the athletes, but so far my only feedback from Yannick Kruder was very positive, so I will live with that. Let's see, Mikael. They are matching the big lapis scoop here. And now, where to put my feet, where to grab. The zone is so small, we cannot see it, but maybe you can see it from another angle upstairs. I'll give back into the studio, and we will come back later maybe with a few more comments by the athletes, by the setters, by the coaches. Let's see who we can find. Enjoy the action. Back to Gas and Mike up there. Nicky out.
Thanks very much, Nicky. That was a really good insight into some of the beta and setting that they've put into this weekend, into this semi-final as we are now.
Yeah, as we're pushing on, Lucia Tarkas, another top for her. Tasha Schlemensek, Slovenia is absolutely crushing it here, obviously. What I really liked about Nikki there was the...
good top there from Stasha.
The microphone on the brush. Appreciated that.
Well, he can do 2 jobs at once, can't he?
The sound of a man brushing. That's what we signed up for here on YouTube.
Yeah, it was good to hear from Jörny as well. I mean, there's not that many athletes. You can probably have a quick interview on the mat in the middle of a semi-final at a competition, but Jörny's one of those guys that's, usually pretty happy to talk to most people. Very friendly guy and a great climber. Good progress now from Sasha.
Luchka.
Sorry, Luchka. Yeah, matching this top hold.
Another crazy strong Slovenian. Nicely done, Luchka.
Yeah, she was crimping the top of that volume, but there's no crimp there. That was quite impressive. Crimp gup.
Is that in the coach's handbook? Should
Probably
be.
in the Slovenian coach's handbook, yeah.
I thought their book is just 1 page which says win.
And keep winning.
Camilla Moroni will be joining Yannick Floe on the boulders. Starting out on the right-hand side, boulder number 1. So we're 15 athletes down now. 5 more to join us.
Well, it's great to see Yannick in this event. He's been an absolute animal in the last season. Very, very strong, putting some supreme performances
Yeah, obviously
on the
winning,
international circuit.
winning that Boulder World Cup 2022 Brixton. 3rd as well in Copa Slovenia for the lead World Cup. Camilla Moroni just pathing up the first boulder there. Cruise control. Judge not entirely happy. There's a slightly odd start, that one. The way it's been marked is 2 up high for some reason rather than 3 down and 1 up, but there we go, it works. Luckily the judge is there to guide people in the right direction. Luca Porchal looking solid across there.
This female number 3 still being a real challenger. Not many footholds. Maya just taking the ride again on that double. Into the right-hand side, pulling the left-hand undercut, going sideways. And we've seen this method before. Crossing through into that crimp and going out with the right hand, landing the foot. Yeah. Can't quite hold the rotation.
Big, big, powerful release, that. Oh, nice. Landing the right hand wrap.
Lily, Germany, she will have a lot of support behind her in this climbing wall.
There's
that wrap again on the top.
Wrapping the hand.
Very solid there.
Down. Germans are going really well here at their home event. Yannick looks like he's made it work this time. See the way he looked around the corner to load that left foot properly. So Mitch Pacora is really struggling with that left foot. Looks like he's just having a little think, not quite got the stand up dialed there. So his body's just a tiny bit out from the wall still. Going for the powerful version of the finish. Crimp the screw hole. Lana Yip now. Can we see a rare top on this one?
Yes.
We can.
Good and solid in the end through that top.
So we had Sean McCall in the studio with us at the start of the stream. If you missed that, he was just giving us a bit of a rundown. And Canadian team look like they're on a nice little tour around Europe at the moment, getting ready for the season. Matic Costa just trying to find that top there. Just another press into a top undercut top hold. Just releases the right hand. That'll do.
Yes. Nice, well psyched with that. Number 4 in the bag.
Buzzing out there.
Great result there for Matic. Coming down now, 20 seconds on the clock. Don't think we're going to see a top on this left-hand side. Yeah, still going to give it another go.
My Jim is just going all out. Has got one boulder still. Oh, that is the last boulder. Sorry, I was about to say she has one more boulder to go, but unless she's going to the kilter board for a few extra laps, that is it. Her weekend is done for now. That's probably not going to be enough to get into the top 6. As we have seen 4 tops in this round already. We'll see that in a second. That's the men's leaderboard. Lots of athletes on 2 tops at the moment. It's going to be a tight one. Boulder number 1 and 4 looking doable, but sort of different results across the 4 boulders. That's what the route setters like to see. Here we go, Malleton, Richardson, Roxana, Vinand, both got 4 tops, different attempts. Great start for Giorgio Tessio. Seeing plenty of tops, as we've said a few times before.
Yeah, very quick. This back end of the field, we're going to see quite a lot of tops, I think. The higher qualifiers. Smash that boulder in within a short space of time.
Slimsek just looking for a slightly different method there. Right hand low on the Gaston, trying to do a little flip. Spekuleras just full battle mode for him at the moment.
Now we've seen a few different ways through that boulder. Probably been climbed by the setters and testers in a few different ways themselves. Quite cool. If you've got different beta, it always makes it interesting.
Yeah, just don't have the full table results on screen at the moment, but just thinking about what we've seen so far, Luchka Rakovic is definitely going to need this one, boulder number 4, to get herself into the 3 tops club. Start to get nervous really as a spectator at this point in the competition to know who's going to need what. Yeah, Nekruda is in battle mode down there on men's 2, as Nikki, our guy on the match, just said. A few technical issues on the stream, but technical climbing out there on the wall as well, especially in men's number 2. That seems to be the one that's causing the most issues.
Sarah Cooper here. Not seen Sarah before in these events, so Mike, I don't know if you have a little bit of information on Sarah. Let's see, she's qualified quite high into this, so yeah, maybe we are going to see a top here. Another good Slovenian athlete. Let's see. Oh, couldn't quite make the height.
Yeah, 17 years old. First in the Youth A World Championships, Dallas 2022 in Boulder for Sarah Chopper. So obviously just coming out the youth scene really, getting into the full adults.
Yeah, and a good event to cut her teeth in at the start of this season.
Yeah, well, that's why these sorts of events are absolutely perfect, because the level is kind of right up there, maybe just under a World Cup level. So mostly European athletes here. But yeah, the pressure is still on. World Cup style format for semi-finals and for finals.
I mean, obviously, most of these athletes come here and they do want to win. They want to first get in the semi-final, make sure they get through, and then they do want to win. That's why they compete. But also, for a lot of people, it's a great experience and a really great learning tool.
Luchka really not enjoying that sort of jump down. We saw with Daria Nesterenko from Ukraine, a completely different method to what Luchka was trying there. So if Luchka Rakovic wants to progress here, she's going to have to find something in the next 45 seconds, as is Misha Spekuleras. Let's go.
Sarah, good
yes.
top for Sarah, number 14 from the Slovenian team.
The one-hander lander.
She'll be very happy with that. That's the last few seconds, 15 seconds left on the clock, and the athletes make the way back.
Yeah, those 3 in the line, they're all going away with no tops. Alex Tarantenko. We didn't really get a chance to see him that much from Ukraine, starting on the men's number 1 there, but obviously as the buzzer went, he was still standing on the mats, trying to dial in the first move, so that's unfortunate for him. Not a great start as we go into our top 4. Andrzej Perhacz from another Slovenian, absolute weapon coming out on men's number 1. And the legend that is Chloe Collier coming out. Chloe Collier, 26 years old now. Took the silver here at this event back in 2020. Always been there or thereabouts, Chloe. Excellent on slabs. Excellent on pretty much everything, to be fair.
And Jay gives a little wave to the crowd. Well-known competitor on the international circuit.
Yeah, and has won this competition back in 2019 as well. That incredible second place back in Salt Lake City Boulder World Cup. Many people thought he would scoop his first win, Boulder World Cup win, but yeah, he's looking on awesome form. There was a crazy running jump yesterday in the qualifying round. One of the craziest running jumps I've ever seen in a climbing competition. Go and check out Andrzej's social media. You can see he posted it on there. Can't really be making mistakes like that though. Yannick Fleury starts the struggle on men's number 2.
There we are on women's at 3
with
Alana.
Going so well. Just a 3-finger drag on that top hold.
Quite a hard top hold to hit. It's a pocket, you can't quite see it.
We've seen the athletes prefer to stand up a bit higher into that last section on the previous boulder we just saw there with Alana.
Camilla making good progress now. Back to this heartbreak last move of women's 2.
And on women's 1, oh, Chloe.
Oh, that's
span.
much better. Really through for that hold. Double match, 2 tops. Chloe also as well.
Chloe enjoying it there, hyping the crowd.
And there were 2 happy people out there.
Yeah, Kijin did so well on the previous boulder. There's that little jump down that Luka Račković really struggled on in the previous rotation.
Yeah, very committing move that into that right hand, left hand cross through. And Jay now at the top of the first slab on men's 1, 2 hands.
Look at the shake.
Solid top.
The shake on the feet as well. If you caught the little interview with Nikki and Yone Kruder there, saying it was shaking quite a lot on that top move. Oh, in the background there as well, flying through the air. Tim Voigtner. Mega rotational jump. This is what we're seeing more and more in modern route setting, a crazy dyno, but that's just the intro to the boulder really. Before we got to do some incredibly hard pulling. Speaking of which, look at the power. Power for days there. Alana Yip.
Yeah, really solid through that sequence now.
This is where we've seen athletes
get this gup.
go higher up on this volume, standing up. She's opting for the screw-on rather than the wrap. Needs to find the wrap. There's the wraps the left hand. Does start to gain a bit of height now. There's the wrap with the right hand. Read it like a book. Alana Yip.
Really happy with that. Top on women's 3. Three tops for Alana. 3 zones. Now another lady in the middle of the screen. Lily also with 3 tops. She's on the final boulder. Can she get the 4th one in the bank? Struggling to just get into the start of the boulder again there. She's got 44 seconds. She's going to really need to move fast. Guessing it's possible.
Yannick could really do with this as well. Yannick Fleur from Germany. Both German athletes on the wall. Let's go for a foot swap on the terrible foot. Oh, she does secure the zone hold. That's big from Liu Kijin. Let's go. Oh,
hand.
yes.
Two
What a
hand.
top that
What a
is.
finish there.
Give it absolutely everything.
She'll be very happy with that. It's a great performance.
Lily Keysgen doing really well. Who's that down there? The one and only Nikki and Sean McCall.
We are ready. Only 6, 5, 4, 3 more seconds until the next competitors come onto the mat. And I'm here with Sean McCall. And Sean, what do you think so far about the round of the boulders?
Well, it's really cool. I obviously haven't seen this live in actually a while. And it's really interesting because for the women, I think they kind of have to do all 4 boulders. For the men, they're a little bit harder. It looks like maybe 3, but you have to do at least 3 for the men. So in my opinion, a little bit more exciting to see the men climb because the women, it's almost like you have to not make mistakes. But again, we'll see in the last few competitors.
Yeah, it's getting exciting and a lot of pressure, like you said. Which one would have been your favorite boulder to climb?
Injury, I actually think the 3rd boulder, where it's really hard on the right shoulder and you're kind of going feet first, getting around those. I really like climbing those types of boulders. One, even with it's a slab and you're kind of moving around, it's not like a crazy slab where it's only about your feet, so that one. And maybe number 4 would be the hardest because I'm not so good at pressing. So the press off the undercling, if I fit well in the box, it's nice. If I don't, I'm not sure. But yeah, pre-injury definitely number 3, and now we don't really know.
Listening to you talk about the round, it sounds like it's a pretty diverse round, but it starts with a mean, but still like kind of easy slab. As a competitor, how do you think starting with a really tricky slab, while you know you need to flash it or maybe climb in 2 or 3 tries?
We're definitely used to it, where it's a slab, okay, we might know, we might not, but when we know people are doing it, it's hard. In the mind, you say, okay, you just need to get through it. And then you don't normally worry too much about the tries, but you're aiming in your mind, obviously, for a flash. 2 or 3 tries, it really usually doesn't matter. So there's still 3 more boulders. If you finish the first boulder and you don't do it, again, you try to just recollect yourself and say, okay, maybe I do 2, 3, and 4 and it'd be enough. Actually, this would be enough. So you really try to focus on that, but it is extremely hard to come back from a boulder that you know many people have topped and that you can't get.
And the women's round is a little bit easier, like you said. Which one is your favorite boulder so far in the women's round?
Ooh, okay, so it starts with the jump to this one, which was a coordination jump. I thought it was, yeah, maybe a little bit too easy. The second one, it was a traverse and then a really sketchy last move. The third one was, trying to go through them all visually from my mind. I actually liked boulders 2 and 4. So number 2 was the one that has kind of a jump up start where you climb into it, you traverse a little bit to the left, and it's hard to get that last move, then set up, and you do a jump to the finish. And the finish is good, but you need to get up and over the foothold, which is really bad. I really like that last move, and I actually like the 4th one too. Again, a technical start into a little jump, and what's cool is after the jump, there's no feet below you, and so there's actually 3 different ways of doing it that I've seen. Maybe there's more, and so you still have to you have to think really well. Again, you've already done 40 minutes of climbing, so you're tired, but this one last boulder you kind of need to do in order to make it to the finals.
Oh, thank you so much for an insight in a competitor's mind and your opinion about the boulders. Do you have any favorites so far today? We are still waiting for 3 more people to come. Jakob Schubert didn't hit the mat yet. Michael Mauem didn't hit the mat yet. But do you have any favorites today?
It's hard because I don't have a scoreboard, so I don't actually know who is in it. I remember someone did 3 tops in the men early on. And then I actually do know that Madison Fisher from Canada flashed all 4 women's boulders. We haven't seen anyone else flash even the first 3. So she's out in front. She most likely will qualify first. So yeah, it'll be really interesting. Again, another Canadian, Alana, has done the first 3 boulders. Hopefully she's in. I think Tiasha here on number 4, if she can do this last move, will actually do all 4 boulders as well. But it's a little bit early. I know from qualification there's a lot of strong men still to come out, and I would really look to them for being the favorites.
Okay, then the really last question is, how important is an international invitational competition in an IFLC format like this before the season starts?
So me personally, it's really good to do a format like this in order to kind of gauge where you are. Even though the next World Cup is actually quite close, at least it gives you a little a little taste of what the World Cup is going to be like, but in a situation where it actually doesn't really matter. It's really cool, always really great to be in finals, but you can still do some tweaks after this. It gives you confidence, it gives you, I don't know, I get to see all my friends again, there's nothing wrong with that, and it is cool because you get to see your friends in an environment that is not a World Cup. There's not like the whole federation here, it's a little bit more chill. Obviously this year with the Olympic qualification, it'll still be chill, but with an element of stress. Yeah. And so it's just really nice here. You're kind of climbing with your friends and competing at the same time.
Cool. Thank you so much, Sean. Maybe see you later again. And we are going back into the studio. Guess and Mike, have fun with it, and let's enjoy the last starters here. The atmosphere is impeccable. Goosebumps are growing everywhere, so enjoy.
Nice one, Nicky. Thanks, Sean. Just to recap there, whilst we're in that interview, tops from Naragora, tops from Olympic gold medalist Alberto Inez Lopez. Tops coming thick and fast. And yeah, I was definitely pleased to hear, obviously, from Sean there that Madison Richardson, Canadian athlete, 4 tops. It's going to get really close in these final few rotations.
Yeah.
Katja Debovec of Slovenia and Jakob Schubert coming out to work their way through these 4 boulders. And in the men's competition especially, we've got to start to see if we're going to see 3 or 4 tops in the top section there. And the women's competition, as Sean kind of sort of summarised for us, really, it's going to be about not making too many mistakes as you go through the round. Not sure if I agree if it's too easy. It's just a different type of round.
I mean, it's always very hard with so many competitors in this semi-final to get that level, sort of the perfect level where we get the splits, but we're looking good at the moment.
Nice start from Katja Debovec.
And what a finished set of athletes we've got in the men's semi-final here. We've already seen Alberto Inez Lopez, the Olympic champion. We've got Jakob Schubert now on the mat, and final top qualifier, Michael Mawem. Now that is some real talent out there.
Anjay also falling off that move as Alana Yip is absolutely on form here. Alana Yip from Canada, smashing through the Tour of Boulders. 3 tops for her. 8 athletes on the wall. It's hard to keep track exactly who's done what. She might drop her into the 4 top club.
Jakob struggling to start that boulder number 1 over on that right hand side.
Such a full body effort on boulder number 4 as Chloe Collier, making no mistakes. Superb work.
That's an important top, that, on women's 2.
Yeah, 2 tops, 3 zones. 2 tops in 3 attempts. So yeah, the pressure is definitely on in the female division to make sure that they can get through these boulders quickly. Jakob Schubert does eventually find the starting position.
Jakob drilling down with his right hand on a screw hole by the looks of it.
Another top there in the women's for Camilla Moroni. Camilla had that amazing second in the World Champs in Moscow 2021. Looking to continue that into the 2023 season now. Coming up pretty soon, first World Cup, not too far away now.
Still plenty of time for Jakob on this boulder number 1. He's not got the zone yet. 1 minute 40.
Amount of times Jakob's been in that position where he piles the pressure on himself as Anjay Perhach gets it done. You can feel the atmosphere just adjusting slightly here from sort of psyched to see who's doing what and finding a few tops. All of a sudden the pressure is really mounting. The crowd seem to be reflecting that. That's got to be the hardest move in the 4 qualifying, 4 semi-final boulders there in the men's competition, that release on boulder number 3.
Jakob really struggling to make progress on this men's number 1. Definitely one of those boulders that's probably a little bit more applicable to a softer shoe.
Well, and also look at the mats there, Gaz. That section of this wall doesn't have any carpet on the mats. You can see the amount of chalk build up. That just sticks directly to the underside of your shoes. Not going to help on a slab.
It's never going to help with friction.
Look at that method. Left hand straight into the undercut. Yannick Fleury.
Crowd really getting behind Yannick now. Can't quite get up into that.
There he is.
Hold. This is looking good.
Oh, going quick into that top move. It's like a slotted double crimp up there. Interesting start there from Jakob Schubert. That is not what he wants to see. There we go. Madison, Alana, Roxana Weinand, Lydia Kiesjen, all with 4 tops. It is going to be super, super close in those top few climbers. It's probably going to come down to 4 tops in the right number of attempts to get yourself into a final. So that does pile on the pressure for the athletes. The final competitors to start the semi-final then in the women's division, Ayala Kerem from Israel and Mikael Mauem from France. Mauem just destroyed the qualifiers yesterday. They are going to start down at the far right-hand end.
Yeah, he definitely looked like he was on some good form yesterday, Michael.
Good to see Laura Agora there on the boulder wall. Obviously, absolutely stellar on the routes. Made many finals on the IFSC lead competition. Won the Arco World Cup back in 2022. Chamonix on the podium there as well. Been there or thereabouts on the lead for quite a while now. See, pushing hard on the boulders these days as well.
It's going to be a hard move out of that position. She's managed to control it. Now it's all about this top move as we've seen already.
Ayala Kerem there. So this is where the pressure starts to build, where they know that these boulders have got to go down fast. Tries that right hand penultimate hold quite a lot. Moves away from it, decides not to use it at all. Smart work from Ayala Kerem. Laura Agora.
That was a good effort. Laura's one of the shorter competitors out on the matter.
Yeah, 152 centimetres.
Yeah, that's quite short. But it was a really good attempt. Another inch or two, she would be on that finishing hold.
Sarah Copper.
So she can get out there again.
Tops 4. Olympic champion Alberto. It must be interesting having that weight on your shoulders. Every time you're introduced, you are the first male athlete to win an Olympic gold medal.
I think he's probably got used to it by now. It's been a while, I suppose. He's been doing the rounds.
People expect you to...
meeting people.
You know, they expect big things every time you put your boots on.
Yeah, yeah.
Here's Mikael Mauem. Currently not enjoying the slab. Really good to see Mauem working with some of the younger guys in the French team yesterday. He stayed, his qualifying session was in the morning, but he stayed all throughout the afternoon, helping the next generation get through their round as well. Superb to see. Let's see how Agora gets on. Oh, just been moved away.
We've seen this boulder topped quite a few times now, so I think we're almost expecting Georgia to get high onto this next volume. And we know that Guppy wrap for the right hand, but the foot slips and she's back on the mat. She's still got time. 136.
A lot of support here for Jerne. Let's go, Jerne Kruder. Can he finish it off, pushing into that top move? Super, super physical, top third of that boulder. I think they enjoyed that one. Good work, Jerne. I've got a list of stats here, and Jerne's stats just go on far too long for me to read out. There's so much talent here on display. Alberto Jimenez Lopez gets it done. Right behind him, Mikel Mauem, can he finish it off?
Yes, he does.
That's the thing about these top-end athletes. They look like they might be struggling, but they have that composure to stick with it. Rigora suffering from height there a little bit, you would have thought. Tessio trying to find something out of that heel hook. It's like a blocked crimp with a totally dual texture hold. The route setter is intending that to be a campus, but she managed to wiggle a bit of footwork in there. Going for one more go by the looks of it. It's going to be tight. All or nothing on this final jump then for Rigora.
Rigora's got to go for it now. 10
Let's
seconds.
Go. Oh, what
beautiful.
an effort. What an effort that is. Massive send from Rigora. That is absolutely brilliant. That is what we came here for.
That was so different, that throw for the top. It was just like she floated.
Yeah, found that little extra grain of friction out of that tiny foothold. Slam dunk to finish.
Jakob now onto men's boulder 2. This has got a bit of pressure on his shoulders now. He didn't manage to get to the top of the first boulder. On the slab, had a bit of a nightmare on that one. It's a bit more up Jakob's street, I think.
Yeah, Madison
More
Richardson.
physical.
Madison Richardson, I was just going to say that guys came out 5th, but still leading the way here. Those 4 tops, 4 flashes. Pretty much going through. Jakob, no tops to his name. Might have to progress through to the finals the hard way here. Jakob's going to have to do something on boulder number 2, 3 and 4. Katia Debovec, a lot of experience on the mats. Let's see how she gets on with this. Totally different body size to Laura Rigora.
Yeah, but as we've seen in the past, this is still a really hard move, no matter what size you are. Awkward position to generate from.
On the screen at the moment, 2 Slovenians, Chloe Collet from Belgium, Anže working his way to the top as Debovec smashes women's number 2. Good work. Chloe Collier just chilling at the moment on the court. She's looking so strong this year.
Anže over on men's 3 there. 1 hand in the top hold, 2 hands.
Look at that experience. We saw Ben Preston earlier up high, but he was trying to walk across the top there. Anže just leaning down into that top hold. As Chloe Collier, no issues.
Here we are back with Jakob on men's 2. Hopefully we'll see his attempt to this top. Come on, Jakob. He needs this.
Oh, that's going to help a lot. Good work from Jakob Schubert.
That.
Sometimes takes the hard road. That was Camilla Moroni there, just pathing up women's number 4. It's just Yannick Flowey out on the mats on his own at the moment. All eyes on him. Pretty much used to that. He's had some amazing results over the last few years.
Yeah, he's definitely no slouch. I don't think he'll feel any pressure being out there on his own. He'll be focused on that clock, the time, and sending this boulder.
That large volume in the middle there, the big boss hold from the brand Squadra, tend to be quite smooth, quite hard to stick, especially when you're passing it at that speed. And then you get into the most brutal mantle heading out to the zone hold. The zone hold is literally half a pad in thickness. Surprising here from Yannick. Definitely one of the favourites coming through the qualifiers.
Down into his last minute now for Yannick. He really needs some magic here.
He's burning serious skin every attempt there as well. Must be a strange feeling to feel your competition drifting away like that. Kind of a bit of a heartbreaker, but you know that you just try and scrape something at the last few attempts.
True athlete though, he's going to keep on trying. That was super close.
Walks away.
Calls it a day, waves to the crowd.
Yannick Flo from Essen and Germany. Boulder World Cup winner. Not meant to be today. So Schubert's impressive top. Sort of quite stiff Sportiva Solution shoe on the left foot there. Just pouncing. Look at the left foot just raise up off of that screw on. Heel lifts to get the height. Compresses between the top volume, which is just a sloping volume, and the right toe drag around the corner. This was the double top of Chloé Collier and Ange Perhatch. This is a replay. Really great experience from both of them. Cool, composed. No issue at all. Great shapes there from Ange.
Pretty happy with that, I think. So Laura Lagora just checking out this first move now, pulled off the ground. I should quite like this boulder myself. Not quite as reachy as the previous one. She managed to get herself through. This a little bit more technical, more climbing.
Love that spin from Alberto Inez Lopez in the back there as well.
Lara now just eyeing up this last hold. One more move. Yes, one hand. Two hand, a great top on women's three for Lara there. That puts her on three tops now. Three tops, three zones. Great performance. Lara looking a strong contender for making it into the final.
Look, let's see what she does here. Slightly different methods so far. When she'll be bringing that left foot in to make this jump to the top. There it is. Interestingly, outside, what's that? Inside left foot rather than the outside. Well, she'll be switching the position. There it comes. Goes to the outside left foot. Seems to be the right body position. See her pump in the left foot, loading it. Got to trust it. Body just comes out from the wall. She leaps for the top hold. I think we are ready to hear a bit more from Nikki down on the mats.
Okay, I'm down here on the mat. Boulder number one is done. Boulder number one was set by Katsu from B-Pump, director and owner of B-Pump from Japan. What did you think? How happy are you with your boulder number one?
Yeah, I'm happy because this is a little bit easy and welcome and semi-final. But finally, everyone many top.
Many top?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay. And what do you think about the whole men's round? Is it super hard compared to a World Cup semi-final, or is it an easy World Cup semi-final?
I think it's more than easy for World Cup semi-final. But small risk and more need balance and mental.
And you were also setting the final round.
Yes,
do you
sure.
think the final round is more difficult, more spectacular, or what's different about the final round?
This is a hard question. I think the field is not so bad because same difficulty or a little bit harder and more than take more risk in the problem. Yeah.
I can tell you it will be more of a show in the final. Katsu's boulder, something I'm really looking forward to. Right now it's really intense. Who do you think will make it into the finals?
What do you say?
Who do you think will go into the finals? Do you have a favorite?
I think and also I want to see in the Alberto because he's a gold medalist and I never see bouldering because very exciting. Yeah.
Okay, you want to see Alberto and in the women's round?
And also I don't know it, but I don't know name, but super strong. Is German people also Canadian girl also strong because it's good fight.
And this was your first time setting for Bloc Masters, right?
Yes, sure.
What did you like about it?
Yeah, it's very different style in Japan. It's watching. It's too many. I'm so surprised and super fun.
Yeah, we got the semi-final. Mika behind us. Can he? A heartbreak. It's a heartbreak. Thank you.
Heartbreaker. Yeah, this is heartbreaker.
Yeah, heartbreaker. We will see you again in the finals. Thank you for joining us, Katsu. Enjoy the show.
Such great drama down there at the wall. I think
A few more boulders, a few more climbers left. It's getting really, really exciting, really thrilling. The women's round, you have to climb all 4 boulders. I'm pretty sure of it. But on the other hand, I haven't seen the results. Gas and Mike, they will know more about the ranking. So see you again in the finals, and we give back to the thriller of Studio Bloc Masters 2023 with Gas and Mike.
Yeah, we just saw a bit of heartbreak there from Michael Mauam on that last move. That could possibly impact his ranking into the semi-final quite heavily. Still down there for him on 16th place with a top and a zone on the second boulder.
So
Anjay sitting pretty at the top of that leaderboard.
Yeah, I was just about to say,
3 zones.
So guys, yeah, the first guy to drop into the 3 tops department. In the women's, it's 4 tops or bust at the moment to get you into finals. You'd have thought the Keys Jen, they're on the cusp of losing out there. A lot of attempts needed from her. As Katsu was saying, the German women's competition has been absolutely, they've been crushing across the wall today. It's been really super inspiring. Really great for the crowd. See a 3-year break from this competition to come back in and put on a big show like this. It's yeah, super cool stuff.
Be interesting to hear from the route setters if they intend to make any tweaks for the female final. Obviously that many tops. They've got a bit of a challenge on. Jakob now on men's 3. This section should be okay for Jakob, I think. Looking strong on that crimp, gets the foot out.
As Katja Depovic cruises boulder number 3. 3 tops in 3 attempts for her. She's going to be looking towards boulder number 4 and see if she can match Madison's 4 flashes, as Jakob's just chilling. Ridiculous considering how other people have struggled so much through that section. The right knee bar showing that outdoor rock experience.
This big move up now into this block crimp. No problem for Jakob.
Jakob didn't top boulder number 1, so he needs every boulder now. 2 boulders currently is the top 6, but don't really want to be risking it. That's an interesting message. Ben Preston from Great Britain, one of the only other guys to traverse across the upper section like that. Jakob really risky on the right foot. Can he drop down? Does bring the body over to left, gets it done. Probably not the intended method, but works nicely anyway.
I think Jakob really showed his experience there with going with that method and actually climbing through it. Ben got the hand out and then was just trying to drop into the finish hold. Jakob was still sport climbing.
Chloe Collier in the meantime continues her little warm-up tour across this semi-finals. Anjay finds a nice method, really balanced on the men's number 4. That's going to be 4 tops, I think it is, for Anjay, winning the round so far. Matt Groom, actually, from and Terry from Epic TV asked me yesterday who do I think, stick a flag in it, who's going to win this weekend in the men's competition. I said Anjay and definitely Chloe Collier.
Both of them look really on form at the moment. Not seen much great action on that boulder that Anjay's just topped, and he just looked like he was in cruise mode.
This is obviously a replay of Koikoya, and that left hand little, it's just like a cent worth of size. Absolutely micro hold, just enough to be able to bump that left hand. I think overall the route setters would like to raise the level a bit from this for the final round. Jakob, a really sketchy walk across this upper section, staying in compression at all times before shifting the body weight over to the left, and that really awkward little drop down.
What a technician, climbing through that top section like that.
Got to power through this upper and mid sections for Katja and Jakob. Jakob, the most decorated gold medalist in comp climbing history. An absolute honour to have him here at the Studio Bloc Masters. Katja as well, multiple finalists in the boulders in the World Cup scene. And Laura Agora there on the replay. I think she's so far the crowd favourite. Just a couple of climbers left in this round then, semi-finals. Top six go through to tonight's final. We will be live at 15:45 local time for a bit of chat with us and a few guests here in the studio. Final itself starts at 4 p.m. local time. Wherever you're joining us around the world, thank you so much for tuning in. Mike Lenny and Gaz Parry here as we go through the last couple of rotations.
That's it, time started. Here they are out onto the mat.
Mikael Mauem, obviously boulder number one is, and boulder number two completely done and dusted now. Look at the chalk build up on the mat. Smart athlete, got his little rag out with him to keep the feet clean, hopefully, before he pulls on. Checking it out, and Ayala Karem from Israel moves on to boulder number three.
Boulder number four down the far left-hand end. Got all the athletes in the shot at the moment. Three on the wall.
Three Olympians on the wall there as well.
Alberto straight off again.
Ayala Karem looking so powerful this weekend. Absolutely cruising that lower section on women's three. So there's a little bit of work to do on this upper volume. Has caused a few issues. There's that wrap. That seems to be the method that's worked the most. Potentially flipping it if she needs it. Ayala Karem here. Laura Agora getting fully involved with the leg work. That's nicely done from Ayala Karem, and seems to have that focused look on her face. She knows can't be making any mistakes at this stage in the round if she wants to go through to final. Mikael Mauem then, what's he got on boulder number three? So we've just seen a top from Jakob on that one as Laura Agora finding all the methods.
Laura totally taking away through this boulder. There's a few of the women have tried to get this toe out.
She's currently
that far, and she's managed it. She's dropped it off now. It's going to be a violent catch to drop the right hand down. Oh, she's doing it off a knee bar. Amazing.
Wow.
Total techers.
Oh, she's got a left heel hook under there as well. This is incredible work here from Laura Agora. Talk about finding a method that works for you and your body size. Great work.
Laura really taking us to tech school with that ascent on women's four.
She has been absolutely awesome.
Alberto really close to nailing that jump. We've seen a lot of climbers struggling to hold the swing. That was quite close, I think.
There we can see the top six, what you're going to need at the moment to get through. Gabriella Moroni clinging on there with two tops and importantly 3 zones. So 2 tops, 3 zones is what it takes at the moment to get through in 8 attempts for the tops and 7 attempts for the zone.
Michael's looking like he's starting to struggle a little bit on this boulder. And he really does need another top to put him in the picture for a possible final place. Back in again, but really resting too much.
Ooh.
Alberto managing to slow it down a bit then, but not quite enough to hold the volume.
It's burning lots of attempts and definitely burning skin. In the women's competition there, you see 4 tops gets you all the way down to 8th position at the moment. 4 tops and 4 zones in 7 attempts on each gets you into that top 6 at the moment. Laura Gore didn't quite make it due to the number of attempts. That's a bit sad to see. 11 attempts for her. Her competition is done, so we won't be seeing Laura Gora, but her compatriot Camilla Moroni is in. Roxana Weinand came out quite early on. Still clinging on.
Alberto very close again. And that final boulder, that final jump. Michael, though, really needs to get something on the scoreboard for this boulder. Needs to make something happen here.
Just trying to find some sort of way of locking the feet in to try and release the right hand that's on the underside of that volume at the moment. With 25 seconds left, it's not looking good here for Mauem. Ditto Alberto Inez Lopez. Mikael Mauem has tried that move so many times. Hasn't secured the zone yet. I think that's what he's working towards there, Mauem. Do wonder how much effort it went, took out of the body to get through into this semi-final round from yesterday's brutal qualies round.
Nice to see a smile between those 2 athletes as they walk off the mat. Michael's got 1 more boulder to go. That's it for Alberto. Two very strong climbers on the mat now to close out their semi-final round on this last boulder.
Yeah, Katia
the
hasn't,
4th and final.
she hasn't fallen off yet. Pressure on here. Both athletes. Got to bring it home on the last boulder.
Yeah, Jakob needs this for sure. Katja also.
Really tense atmosphere. Seen a lot of people struggling on that double jump now. I do wonder if the conditions have deteriorated a bit on the large fiberglass volume. Many different methods here on excellent women's boulder number 4. See what Katja makes of it. Crazy method from Laura Agora just before. Looks like Evovec going to stick to the most attempted method. Oh, sticks hit Jakob Schubert.
Good work from Jakob.
That press, brutal press in the left shoulder.
I think we're probably expecting a top from this position.
Jakob Schubert, full red face try hard there on that mantle. Sorts it out, Jakob Schubert. Doesn't top boulders number 1. 2, 3 and 4 though. Battle mode engaged, gets it done. Superb work. Somehow that level of talent, the cream always rises to the top. Jakob Schubert is there once again.
Yeah, good result from Jakob there. We'll see him in the final this afternoon.
Katja needs this. 4 tops. Doesn't want to waste too many attempts on it either. Totally different method once again. Oh, just the smegging on the wall. Oh,
it's a really physical way for that move. She's still got 2 minutes, 10 on the clock. She's got enough time. Try and get those 4 boulders in the bank.
So the route setters will be looking on very intriguingly, as the women's round does seem to be slightly too easy, but the game still goes on. Athletes have got to find 4 tops in the women's competition to get through. And not only that, but not too many attempts either.
Be interesting to see what's going on inside the setters' heads at the moment.
Well, and as we know, as both route setters ourselves, the margins of too easy and too hard could be the difference between the tiniest tweak of a hold, positioning of a hold, just slightly more or less vert, hold slightly bigger, smaller, such a fine line.
Absolutely. Catcher now finally nailing that jump. This is a good opportunity.
Keeps the right hand up this time, that works. Pressure mounting on the last move here for Katja. A lot of experience, and it shows. 4 tops for Katja. Joins the 4 top club. Had to put the battle in though. It's very easy to sit here and say, oh, the round's a bit easy, but believe me guys, these are not easy boulders. The level of these female athletes today has been absolutely amazing.
Crowd giving some good support now for these last 2 competitors from this semi-final here at Studio Bloc. Athletes from France and Israel. Last boulder of their semi-final campaign.
Yeah, neither sadly looking good for a finals position. Out there for battling though. Remember, for a lot of these internationals, this is a pre-season training event for getting amongst the World Cups. They're here to climb boulders essentially. Many moves as possible this weekend in a pressurized situation like we have here, World Cup format semi-finals.
Certainly always is a good training event. Get the pressure on, work out how to deal with it, see where your level is at on this international scene. Take it away, see what you've got to work on. Three minutes 10. Just on the clock now for this semi-final round to complete. Michael coming really close to holding that jump. Ayala through the jump herself.
Let's see if you can finish off in style here. Israeli national champion in lead and boulder. Reigning quiff champion as well in Sheffield. That's happening next week. Can she finish off the round nicely? Doesn't get 4 tops, but does get 3. Good work from Ayala Karim. Dealt with the pressure really well across the 4 boulders. Exceedingly well in the qualifying round just yesterday.
Always a nice way to finish with a top. Let's hope Michael can do the same. Trying to go direct. That's definitely a big jump, going straight through. Tying it up again.
Oh, a different method that time.
One hand in the slot. Still got 2 minutes in the clock. No, we're not going to see him in the semi-final.
Or the final.
It would be good. Sorry, yeah, or the final. Definitely not going to see him in the final. We're seeing him now in the semi-final. Like any athlete, he's still got the drive, still wants to get to the top of this boulder. Wants to push himself up that ranking a little bit more. Currently sitting in 14th place after winning the qualifying round. Crowd getting behind him, giving some support. He wants more.
Wants this, Mikael Mauren. Come on.
So close that time.
Taking so many hits as well. See, he wants this big time.
But his body's going to feel like he's been 10 rounds with Frank Bruno at the end of this. Come on, Michael.
Yeah, takes the jump.
That zone hold is so small, it's insane.
Just got to find that rotation now on the left hand to turn it into that palm. Bring the body up and right slightly to be able to open up the box. Push down, let's go. Oh, that was a great effort. Walk away from that intense move. Great work there from Mikael Mauren. He does round out the semi-final here at the Studio Bloc Masters. As I say all of that, he walks away, but then immediately drops back in. He's going for the big show. Putting on a show here, Mauren. Superb, absolutely superb to watch.
Thanks, the crowd. Loves it. The crowd's really happy with that semi-final.
Yeah, it was great. A lot of good action across all 8 boulders. Overall, you've got to say, fantastic blocks. Results to the side, that's worked out pretty well. Different rounds, but overall, fantastic. Here we go then. This is our top 6 making it through to the final. Nikolai Rusev from Bulgaria, Matic Kotar, Slovenia, Ione Kruder, Slovenia, Ido Fidel from Israel, Jakob Schubert and Andrzej Perhach round out the top 2 in the men's competition. That's your 6 men. Close from Mironi. Didn't quite make it. He was down in 7th, and your lower ranking climbers there. 0 tops and 1 top sort of department. In the women's competition, look at the number of green boxes there. It's very, very different round. Be interesting to see what happens there between Katia Debovec and Camilla Moroni, both with the same score. That'll probably go to count back, putting Katia in 6th place. Roxana Weinand came out really early and held her place there with 4 tops, 4 zones and 7 attempts for those tops. Alana Yip was absolutely firing, also with the same score there. Chloe Collier, superb. She will go into the finals in 3rd place with Sarah Koppa from Slovenia in 2nd, and Madison Richardson, a potential bit of surprise there. 4 flashes, and she will come out last in tonight's final. You can join us for that at 15:45 local time, and for us now here in the studio, we will see you in a couple of hours' time. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you for the final.
Bloc.